Well, hey, what is good? Welcome back to the Rise podcast. Let me just say, okay, beginning of the episode, my bad. It's been a little while since we've had episodes, but I want to get back into the swing of things. I want to talk about something that I struggle with. I want to talk about something that chances are on the other side of this video or podcast you struggle with. I want to talk about what do you do when you're feeling insecure? What do you do when you're feeling insecure? And I really want to talk from this title, this subject, 2 strategies to defeat insecurity. 2 strategies to defeat insecurity. To keep it 100 with you guys, to keep it transparent with you guys, we were at a wonderful, amazing conference called the ARC Conference. It is a conference for pastors, church leaders, specifically in the ARC network. The ARC is the Association of Related Churches, planted nearly 1,200 life-giving churches all across the world over the past 30 or so years. And every year they do an amazing conference. This was my first one. Had an absolute freaking blast at this conference. Was inspired, was encouraged, was built up, all that good stuff. But I was also a little insecure. I'll be honest with you. Here's why. My wife and I, most of y'all at least know us-ish through social media or in real life. So Maya and I are in the process of planting a church. And this is a room full of church planters. Now, some, like us, have not planted their church yet, but many of them have already planted. And many of them have hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of people coming every single week. And I'll just be honest with you. I know it's silly. I know it's a little bit too focused on me, and it's not focused enough on God and His calling, but I'll just be honest with you. There were moments at this amazing, life-giving, incredible conference that I felt a little bit insecure. And in these moments of insecurity, I was really grateful, because sometimes you're in a struggle, in a challenge, in a moment where you're just not feeling great, not feeling yourself, and you just can't get out of it. But I had this moment feeling insecure at this amazing conference, and I feel like the Lord really gave me a strategy. He actually gave me 2. And so I wanted to hop on here, and I don't know what makes you insecure. I don't know if you're a parent and seeing these other momfluencers videos about their perfect kids that never act out. And when they do, if they just say one kind word to their little angel, they immediately shape up and act the way that they're supposed to act. I don't know if that makes you feel insecure as a parent. I don't know if seeing some of your friends on Facebook from high school, the house that they bought, the car that they drive, makes you feel like you're not earning and buying and getting enough for yourself. I don't know if it's related to the fact that you're single and a lot of your friends are married, or maybe you're married and a lot of your friends have kids. I don't know what it is for you, but I think one of the most common and negative, so there's common positive and then there's common negative. One of the most common negative human experiences is feeling insecure. And first, let me just diagnose it a little bit. Typically, if you'll notice this about yourself, one of the most, if not the most common trigger, is you see somebody else that in some way, shape, or form you envy, you desire, you wish your fill in the blank was a little bit more like theirs. And so insecurity is rarely just you over-analyzing, psychoanalyzing all this stuff about you. It's rarely a one-player game. It's usually you're comparing yourself with someone else. Now, here's the funny thing. Of course, God never called you to raise their kid, be married to their spouse, pastor their church, run their business. He called you to live your life. But we transpose our calling, our life, whatever it is that we have, compare it against somebody else, and then end up feeling insecure. Now, it's been said before, but let me say it again. Whenever you're comparing, you will end up in one of 2 places. You will either end up insecure because you believe that they're somewhere further than you, or you'll end up feeling arrogant because you'll feel like you're actually better than them. And neither of those places is the place that God wants you to be. God does not want you to think yourself lesser than somebody else, because in actuality, we are all equally loved, called, and purposed by God. Nor does He want you to view yourself as above anyone else, because He's not given you special privilege, treatment, or access. He died on the cross for everyone. He loves everyone. He's created everyone with a divine, unique assignment. So whenever I end up comparing, I end up feeling above or beneath somebody else, which is actually neither of them are the truth. We are all uniquely loved, called, gifted by God. So why would I compare me to you? Well, the answer is because I think God has made us observant, intelligent creatures. It's actually a good thing. Comparison's not all bad. We've talked about this in the podcast before. Comparison's not all bad. If I'm comparing I'm a pastor, so I'll use a personal analogy. If I'm comparing how effective my communication is, the way that I illustrate a point with how another pastor does, it's totally possible that that's super healthy. I'm learning from things that this person maybe does well, and I'm taking note and I'm saying, I'm going to try to do this a little bit better. Or, man, you know what? I think when they said it this way, it actually wasn't super clear. I think I tend to illustrate it a little bit more clearly. And either way, I'm learning through comparison. I'm using somebody else as a frame of reference. But often that's not what comparison is for us. Often it doesn't just exist out here, because if it's out here, I'm comparing my ability to illustrate with their ability to illustrate a point, and I'm actually gleaning and gaining information. It's really helpful. Unfortunately, it rarely stays out here. It gets in here. And so now it's not, this person is really compelling and clear at illustrating things. It's, they're actually a good communicator, and therefore they're actually making a difference. And I'm less than them. So that means I must not be making a difference at all. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about how do we get to insecurity, but let me give you these two strategies. And these two strategies happened because we were just having a great time at conference, and there was not like an event that happened. You know how sometimes it just slaps you in the face, like you're just not feeling yourself? You're feeling just a little bit lesser for some reason. Well, I can't trace it to an exact thing, an exact comparison. Like it's not like it was one exact person or something like that. But I noticed I was just feeling a little insecure. Two things happened. One, and this is my first strategy, when you're feeling insecure, is go encourage someone else. Go serve someone else. Go pray for someone else. Go bless another person, however you can. And here's how that happened for me. We were walking in to the final session of the final day, and this young guy, and I feel like I'm a young guy in 99% of the cases, but in this case, there was a guy younger than me. Okay, I'm 28. 20-year-old guy came up, amazing young man of God. God's got an incredible purpose on his life. I could tell just talking to him for a minute or two. And he comes up and said, "Hey, did I hear you mention in one of the breakouts that you are young, 28, planting a church?" I said, "Yeah." And Maya was with me, and we're like, this is what we're doing. We're both, young. We're Gen Z, the kind of older end of Gen Z, and we're planting a church. And he said, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm 20. I feel called to pastor a church one day. I just want to take a second chat with you guys." And we're like, "Oh my gosh, this is awesome." So y'all, for like 75 minutes, we talked to this amazing young man of God. He's asking questions. We're kind of just sharing some of our experience and what God has taught and shown us. But really what we were trying to do, and I hope this is what happened, is, we were trying to encourage, bless, serve, pour into this young guy. And I noticed at the end of that conversation, I felt like $1,000,000. I felt like I was the king of the world. Not in an arrogant or self-centered way, but in like I'm so happy right now. I'm so fulfilled right now. Why? Because I wasn't focused on me. When we're discouraged, when we're comparing ourselves, when we're insecure, we get so inwardly focused. But I'm telling you, if you will just turn the spotlight around, and if instead of just overanalyzing yourself and feeling a certain way about yourself, don't even just try to talk yourself into how awesome you are. That's actually not a great strategy. Here's a great strategy. Go find someone around you. Go add value to them. Go serve them. Go pour into them. Go encourage them. Go mentor them. You will feel like you are on top of the world. It is an incredible strategy to beat insecurity. Is just, show up for somebody else. Turn that focus away from just you and how lesser you are than that random person, and go find somebody and go serve them. Here's number two, and this sounds so cliche for a pastor to say, but number one is, go serve and encourage somebody else. Number two is just worship the Lord. And I don't mean listen to a worship song in your AirPods. And I don't mean just go to church and listen to music. I mean, you yourself actively pour out your praise, your devotion, your love, your adoration, your thankfulness, your gratitude to God. So that happened before the last session, and then we're in the last session in worship, and I just am there pouring out, "Jesus, I love you," singing, of course, the songs, but just this posture of, I'm so grateful for who you are, for who I am in you, for what you've called us to do, for what you're going to do through us, for the impact and lives that are going to be impacted through Movement Austin. God, thank you for all the good you're doing in and through our lives. And I just noticed, man, I'm praising God. I'm making a lot of him in my own eyes. I'm thanking him for who he is and then who he is to me. So there's who God is, period. And then there's who he is to you, what he's done in your past, what you're believing him to do in your future. As I'm worshiping, I just feel this joy. I'm weeping. I'm a weepy person. If you don't know me, I'm a crying guy. I weep a lot. One of the ways I know my soul is healthy is that I'm crying at the goodness and grace and power of God. And one of the ways I know I'm not healthy is when it's been a while since that's happened. Well, I'm just in this moment, just weeping at this room of thousands of pastors just trying to serve God and reach people. And I'm grateful to just play a part of that movement, that movement gets to play, that movement that we're a part of, and movement gets to play a part in that broader movement. And I'm making much of God. And you know what? I didn't feel insecure in that moment at all. Why? Because both of those strategies get the focus off of me. So much of our problem is we are so focused on us, and it leaves us comparing us with somebody else and feeling either arrogant or insecure. But if you will start focusing on the person outside of you, not to compare yourself with them, but to serve them and bless them. And if you will, even more importantly, I know I listed it second, but it's actually the most important, make much of God, worship God. I literally, my takeaway, this is both, by the way, for me personally, I'm just letting you in on what God was showing me. If you will serve people and bless God and worship God, and specifically what I mean by that is like, ideally get yourself to an actual like worship center, an actual space where other people are, there's actual music being played. You're actually able to sing to Jesus. But in lieu of that, maybe it's like a Thursday and there's no Thursday or Friday service around you. Man, get some music on, be it in AirPods or over a speaker, and actually worship, sing, lift your hands, get on your knees. I'm not saying listening to music isn't enough, but I'm telling you the experience for me is this actual moment of pouring out love, adoration, affection, gratitude, faith to God. And so the next time you're insecure, instead of A, wallowing in it, that's the worst case scenario, or B, and I heard this point made at the conference, let me make it again on this podcast for those who were not there, which is everyone, I'm sure. When Moses is insecure, God, I stutter. I don't speak so clearly. I'm not a communicator. What do you mean? I'm going to go talk to Pharaoh and convince him to let his entire workforce go for free, and they work for free because they're slaves. And I'm just going to tell him to let them go. How am I going to be that convincing? Well, God doesn't say to Moses, no, buddy, you're awesome. You're great. You're gifted. No, he doesn't say that. He says, I'm going with you. So that's worship. And then he connects him to the greater purpose. I'm going to set my people free through you. He's really saying both things as he's communicating. God is communicating with Moses. So the next time you're feeling insecure, I dare you, don't wallow in it. And don't even do this. There's nothing wrong with affirmations and mantras and biblical quoting the Bible over yourself. I believe in all that, to be honest with you. But what I found to be even more effective than any of those things is go serve and love somebody else and make much of God. And I'm telling you, it might not go away in 2 seconds, that insecurity, but give it a few minutes. Give it an hour. Oh my gosh. You will notice, man, this feeling of I'm not enough, I'm less than is going to be gone. This feeling of God, thank you so much for choosing me to be a blessing to this person, to be loved by you. It's going to be so strong in you. It's going to make a difference in your life.